Hey everybody, it is Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your Akashic Records expert and energy shift advisor. How's everybody doing? I know you're like, what are you doing back here on Tuesday night on Facebook and Instagram? I thought you weren't going to be doing that anymore. Well, surprise, surprise. There is so much going on this planet. I can't possibly share it fast enough with all of you. And so what I am doing is I'm going to come back now and do Akashic record readings. And so what that means is I'm going to read it for November so we can see where this crazy planet is going. Is there any stability? Where can you turn for stability? What's going to happen with this crazy world, right? So I decided I'd come back on Tuesday nights and do at the beginning of the month and do a reading for where are we now, how many timelines are we on, and where can we turn for stability. So while I wait for a few people to jump on, I'm really super excited to see all of you on Instagram and all of you on Facebook. And you know, I love this job. This is the best job ever, to work with spirit, to work with highly sensitive people, empaths and starseeds. And I know that us empaths and starseeds, we are feeling it. We are feeling this Megan world and where it's going, and it's craziness. I tell you, absolute craziness. However, we can learn so much by what we can see in the Akashic records. And you can say, hey, you know, Deanna, what do you mean records? You know, we haven't had 2022 of November yet. We're only on the first day. So what happens is we are in alignment with our divine selves. We're in alignment with our true selves. A lot of us are feeling energy deep down inside going, I know I have a mission, but I don't know what it is. Can you tell me? Can you tell me? You know? And so what happens is right now in space and time, our Akashic records have been opened more than ever before. And what I'm seeing across the board with my clients are called triggers. Okay, triggers are, let's say that you had a lot of trouble with romance in your past. You had so much trouble with different people, different lovers. Nobody stays with you. Nobody loves you. You love them up like most starseeds and empaths do. And then they stomp all over you because, you know, they got what they needed and they're moving on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is that the universe brings us lessons. It's called karma, called the wheel of karma. And if you are here to learn a lesson, deal with karmic debt and balance, and you don't get it right, you're going to have to do it again. And so where we are in the development of this planet and this universe is so much karma is being dumped down on us right now to process. And that's why things feel so fast and so crazy. And you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't deal with it all in a day. It's because there's a lot of karma. So imagine that a debt that you've had from a lifetime you don't even know about is coming into the here and now so you can settle it. And so what happens in these months is the stars shift, as the planets align, as the heartbeat of the earth changes. You've heard me talk about Schumann's resonance. That triggers in the physical body, the spirit body, and the emotional bodies, different Akashic records. And so what I'm looking at is what's going on the planet. First of all, what do the records say? Where are we headed? And secondly, what can all of you as starseeds, empaths, and highly sensitive people go, oh, you know what? That's a record coming up to be cleared, and you take care of it. And the faster you take care of it, the faster you resolve it, the faster you're going to feel better and not so wigged out and full of anxiety all the time. For those of you over here on Instagram, can you give me a heart if you've been feeling frustrated lately? Even if you're watching the recording, so many anxious and frustrated people and so many problems, and you're like, where's it all, you know, coming from? If you feel like that, if you can give me a heart or a thumbs up over there, yeah, there comes a couple. And what about Facebook? How many of you are feeling that? You know, frustrated, anxious, can't get everything done. You're wondering, you know, when's my rest gonna be? Excuse me. Good, I'm getting hearts, all kinds of hearts. Okay, well, I'm sorry you all are going through that, but me too. And that's because you have been called. If you are hearing my voice, you have been called to do a work. That part, some people are just called to just be, and that's it, and be a solid, loving person. And everybody that comes around them is like, oh, I feel so good just because you're near me. Others of us are being called to do work and anchor light into this planet. And so starseeds, empaths, highly sensitive people, you're all equally as important, because without you, this schmeggin world, I am not kidding you, would go on a nosedive to the dark side. Okay, a nosedive to the dark side. That's where it's headed. But all of you spreading the light are raising it up. So I'm going to get on with the Akashic record reading for the world first, so you'll know where the world's headed. So when you see it happening, you'll be like, oh yeah, I knew that was coming. And you can prepare. And that is the most important thing. And I'm going to tell you, my guides are so wonderful. They have told me of some days. I live in Denver, Colorado, for those of you that don't know, and hi overseas. A lot of my Instagram people are from overseas. This winter, we are supposed to have a snowstorm for like 4 days, and we might lose power. And that's in the future. And that's in November. And so my guides told me, get ready. They told me last month, you know, what to gather and buy and have in my house to be ready for that power outage. Now, if that power outage never comes, am I going to be angry? No. You know, because they told me and they gave me a heads up. So that's what I'm here to do for you, is give you a heads up. So let's get on with it. I'm going to say hello to Chrissy. I'm going to say hello to Ron. Oh, it's so good to see you. It was good to see you the other night. Deborah, good to see you. I hope you're doing better. Hi, Becky. Hi, Meredith. Oh, she says today was certainly frustrating. Oh, yes, girl, move over. We're all riding that train. And hi to Heather and Chaos Makes the Muse. I love that name. That's really cool. All right, so let's pull out the Akashic Records forecast for the planet, for the world. Okay, so we're not only looking at politics, but we're looking at the world at large. You know, we've got different countries. There's some people that are just in a huge chaotic shift right now. Lots of you know, military and bombs in their neighborhood. I can't imagine. There's some people that are being displaced because they're attempting to shift where they live. And there's some challenges with that. There's, you know, of course, the people that had that thing going in Florida that are suffering aftermath of a huge hurricane. You know, we got stuff all over the planet. So let's find out what's going on. I know I've said that a couple times. Sorry, I'm just so excited tonight to talk to you all again on Tuesdays. Okay, so I ask about what is affecting the world. So every human being, listen closely, every human mind sends signals to the universe. It's a transmitter, okay? Simple science and physics. Every brain receives information. So it's a transmitter and a sender at the same time. So if you're having weird dreams, a lot of times you're picking stuff up from the universe because you're floating up really high and you got to shield up. Now, imagine, I don't know how many billions of people, I didn't look it up before I came on, how many billions of human beings are on this planet living and breathing from the age of just being born to maybe 98 or 100. Every one of their thoughts, feelings, and emotions get sent from the brain to a universal consciousness. And for those of you to be old enough to know what a lava lamp looks like, you know, kind of all the stuff bubbly at the top, well, that's how the human consciousness is. And all thoughts, feelings, and emotions blend together, and they kind of separate the positive and the negative. And then as human beings, we receive that information back, whether we like it or whether we don't like it. And a lot of that's causing the destabilization of what's going on. Okay, that's plain and simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask what is going to transpire in the month of November for the entire planet, for all people on the planet, which may apply to you if you're really tuned in, based on what's happened so far in 2022. So the first card I get is called Views of Ego. So for my Instagram audience, views of ego. Okay. And if you look at the card here really close, you'll come back a minute, Facebook. You can see that there's a person looking into the mirror, only seeing himself, and there's two other people around that. It's a reflection. You see this? Reflection. So what is happening is one person is looking in the mirror and only seeing themselves, and they're surrounded by other people. And that is a view of the ego. The ego stands for edging good out, or if you prefer, edging God out. And so what's been happening between January and now is there are a lot of folks on this planet that have been centrally focused on themselves. Egos, okay? It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to have safe boundaries. You know, that's great. But an ego means to edge good out. So you've had a lot of people on this planet, everywhere from world leaders all the way down to your average everyday person that's been so self-involved, it's not even funny. It's all about me, 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 me. And what can I get for me? And there's power and there's corruption, like I said, from the top, you know, to the top, the top people that rule this planet, all the way down. And they are sucking as much money as they can out of the general population. Can I get an amen? How many of you know the exact dollar amount of how much billions of dollars were made by the medical industry because of COVID? Go look it up. It's shocking. Egos. They could have passed that all out at a lesser price. If they wanted everybody to have it, they could have made it more, you know, down to where everybody could get a hold of it easily. But they didn't. At least not to my knowledge. If I'm wrong, send me an email. Tell me about it. Give me some references. Show me some documented evidence. Not just what some, you know, flip it writer in the news says. Okay? Egos. And we've had some people claiming the right to power and saying, you know, I'm the greatest, not Muhammad Ali, you know. You know, and some people suffering because they've been squashed and their ego and their self-esteem has gone into the toilet because of anxiety and fear. Hallelujah, amen. That is the past. And that's an Akashic Records card. I just shuffled them and drew. All right, so the past and this year so far has to do with ego, self-centeredness, self-driven of the people that are, you know, ruling powers. And if you don't like me, sorry, don't do it. I won't talk about it. All right, moving right along. Present. This is November, folks. I got the card. It's called Two Worlds. Two Worlds. And it's the Two of Scrolls, which is equally funny because right now on this planet, we have a higher frequency of people that are evolving and having Christ consciousness. And we have a whole bunch of people that aren't evolving and they're really into dark energy, like anxiety, fear, phobia, and driving it. That's what they want to drive it. And the rest of us are trying to pull the energy up. And so this planet is literally splitting in two. Talks about it in the Bible. It says, I shall come like a thief in the night, and two people will be in the bed and one person disappears. Poof, that's what's happening. Not yet, but we're in that process. Two worlds. That's where we are in November. So what does that mean to you? If you find that you have karma and you're getting triggers all over the place, anxiety, you know, things are bothering you, you can't seem to deal with it, it's too much, then line it up like little soldiers and start knocking it down one by one, because that's a karma that you haven't cleared yet. And God's spirit or source and your guides are like, you got to do this, you got to do this, hurry up. And you're like, no, I got too much to deal with anyway because of all the stuff from COVID, trying to get back to work, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's two worlds. You're being asked to clear out your karmic past so you can move forward into the most beautiful, loving existence and raise your consciousness and be centered. Okay. I right now live in two worlds. I have my beautiful job that I love with all of you. And then I have my other life where I am dealing with insurmountable odds of things facing my daughter in her education. By right, she has a right to an education, and I'm having challenges getting her what she needs. And it's a full-time job all by itself. Two worlds. So I'm working two jobs. Job of educating my daughter and the job of loving all of you. Then there's my personal life, right? Anyway. So I'm sure a lot of you feel that. I've had so many people tell me, you know, I don't have problems with school, but have problems in my life with other things, health, romances, money management, and I feel like I'm having to do, you know, a couple different things. All right, so past too many ego views. Time to look at yourself, time to see what's going on, what are your triggers, what's driving you nuts. Work on those two different worlds so that you're raising your frequency and your consciousness and not being down here in depression land. And I am going to birth a class, literally birth it, so that right before or right, you know, near Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving, I'm going to offer a class about, you know, how you can work with, you know, being with family maybe you don't like, you know, how to deal with these struggles of the two scrolls and how to get through it. There's some really cool techniques I've been learning on how to get a hold of your human brain and direct it so you're not, you know, doing all this. All right. Now, here is the future for the world, and then we'll get to some pre-readings. If anybody has questions they want to ask, I dropped the last one, of course, you know, the future. This one is called the Architect. The Architect. And as you can see, it goes back to ancient Egypt, which is kind of cool in itself. And it's Pharaoh directing how everything is going to be according to him. And, you know, pharaohs would come in and they would change stuff. And so the future, according to our Akashic Records reading for the world, is based on how we design it. How we as humans in our singular lives and in our plural lives design it. So if you are constantly living in fear, anxiety, and phobia all the schmiggin' time, and you're not focused on God's spirit source and living in the 3D world, that's the two worlds, another way to look at it, then you're not in charge of your own life. And that's how the ambiguous they wants it. They want you in fear. They want you in anxiety. They want you unstable. They remind me of narcissists gaslight. They triangulate. They do all kinds of things. So you feel like you're walking on eggshells all the time. That's what it feels like with the ambiguous they and the way they are running things. Okay? It's not politics, you know, this side or that side or this wing or that wing. I'm talking about take a look at the world. Where do you see peace? Where do you see joy? Where do you see resolution? Where do you see hope? I love my 30-year-old clients and now my 20-year-olds that are coming to me and they're like, there's no hope. Yes, there is. And that hope lies in each and every human being that draws a breath on this planet. Do you believe what's being fed to you? Who do you listen to? What news station do you listen to? What are they feeding your mind every single day? What do you see on social media every single day? Is it positive? Is it uplifting? Is it up, you know, building? Or is it negativity? Because the more positive you are, listen to me, the more positive, the more loving and kind that you can be within yourself, loving yourself, you radiate that out to the world. And these people that are being bombed, these people that are suffering aftermath, these people that are just suffering, period, their consciousness will be raised because of your consciousness. Does it mean their problems are going to be solved tomorrow? No. But it means that the vibration of the planet is lifting. Their consciousness has to lift. A tide raises all boats. And sink them too. All right. Now here is an overall card for November. I kind of laughed when I turned it over. It's called Buddha Prepares. Buddha Prepares. Also notice the number 13. So Buddha, or this guy here, is opening his heart. If you've never looked at Buddhism, even if it's not your religion of choice, go look at the sevenfold path and see what that involves. It's really good wisdom, whether you like the Buddhism or not. Buddhism actually is a way of life. It's not a religion. And there he is, and all the people behind him preparing for what's coming by opening their heart and being connected to God, Spirit, Source. Seems very simple, right? So that is the Akashic Records reading for the planet for November. And now I'm going to take some questions. So over here on Instagram, I see Heather, I see Chaos Makes the Muse, which is kind of funny, I like it. I see 5280 Moxie. I see, if I can get this, H Wheel 999, which is kind of funny. And Sadish, good to see you. 999 is kind of funny because the secret to the universe, for those of you that have studied physics and quantum physics, is 30, 60, 90. So that's why that was kind of funny. Let's go over here and I'll move my cards since we're all clear on what's going to happen for the month of November, darling. Let's see. Hi again to Chrissy, Ron, Deborah, Becky, Meredith, and Chrissy says, I've heard to expect cold with power outages this winter. Yep, that's what I'm hearing too. And oh, hi, Brandy. Hello, darling. You know, your pictures are so teeny on the screen. It's hard for me to see you. So thank you. Anyway, so that's what's happening. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to start pulling an Akashic Records card for the day, so you all kind of know what the energies are, because the energies that are happening are due to the shifts of the planet. The Akashic Records for the planet, you know, the Akashic Records for the planet includes all of us. And oh, hi, Maria. Hello, darling. If you have a question for me and you want to put it down here in the feed, I'll take a couple questions. In the meantime, you know, that's it. So looks like we've got to get our poo-poo together, look for our own personal triggers, clear them out as soon as you can. And of course, you know that I am an Akashic Records reader and I do clear energies. So there are some people that need their karma balanced and they can't do it themselves. And they will go to tools of energyprotection.com and they will click on services and they'll find a spot to get themselves an appointment, and we'll go through and clear as much as we can, makes your work a lot easier and a lot lighter. And then because the holidays are coming up, I thought I would do something really fun. I was trying to figure out what could really be fun for the holidays and help you all, because I know holidays can be so stressful. So what I'm going to do is, for everybody that's on my emailing list, I'm going to offer them a special, and I'll send it out in the email. And I'm going to put 4 different services, maybe 5 that I offer. And you can pick any 2 of them that you want. And I'm going to offer a very low price. So you all that haven't seen lately, you know, the session readings are $122 for an hour right at the moment. And so a little bit, I think they're $112 for like a half hour. And I do that because I still have to prepare, no matter if it's a half hour, an hour. And when those holiday specials come up, that price will be very, very low because I'm going to give it to you all like kind of like 2-for-1 special and, you know, that kind of thing. But I will send that information out to my emailing list first and let them pick as much or as little as they want. Then this coming up Friday night, because today's Tuesday. Yeah, today's Tuesday. this coming up Friday night, I will do another live broadcast, and I will announce that special, and whoever's on my mailing list will get first pick. And then whoever isn't on the emailing list, then when you come on here, I will give you a way to connect in with those specials. And for those of you that have already joined me for those specials, it's almost half price. So, I want to make sure that I'm serving everybody. And I know a lot of people are struggling financially, and they're like just waiting for those deals. And as soon as I put them out, they're just eating them up. All right. Okay, so let's have a look real quick. Oh, hello, Bill. Hello, darling. Hugs to you. Okay, well, I guess I answered all the questions because I don't see anybody wanting an individual Akashic record reading. So now you know what to expect. So we're going to recap it for those of you that are jumping in late. There should be a replay on Instagram, and I know there's a replay on Facebook. But again, what we're looking for November is people looking at their egos, that's been out of balance, both in the top world scene and, day to day, everybody. Bringing their egos back in check. So there may be some people that, no, Heather, you didn't post a question, post it again, and I'll give you the reading. But there's a lot of people that are learning to love themselves, and they're ditching more of their ego. So that could be it too. Then we are living in two different worlds. The world that's ascending, people that are ascending to a higher level of consciousness, doing the work, and those people that are getting left behind. You're going to notice a lot more negative people around you. You're like, what the heck? It's not that there's more negative people around you. It's that you're ascending and you're ditching the negativity. All right, Heather, if you can post your question real quick, and I'll try to get to it, or I will get to it if I see it, but I don't see one. Heather said she put a question over here on the Instagram, but I don't see it. And then, of course, the architect. So you are in charge of how much karma you clear out, how quickly you clear it out. Again, I read Akashic Records. I clear energies across hundreds of thousands of lifetimes for people every single day. And yes, it's ordained by God or spirit, because if it wasn't, I couldn't do it. It's God, spirit, source working through me. And you could dump, tons of things that you have with romance. Maybe you would get stuck in bad relationships. It can be because of choices in this life, of course. But it can also be because of past life karma you're paying off. A lot of people have money problems, and it's because maybe I've seen things like people have ties of poverty to the past because they were in a priest or monastic kind of things. And I've seen people suffering from poverty because in the past life they took money from the poor, kind of thing, and just a lot of stuff to balance out. So you are the architect, of course you always are, of your future, and especially in November, and it seems like a lot of things are easing up. Then right here we have the overall card, which is Buddha prepares. It's a number 13, which is a good number. And he is centering his heart. We think we rule our lives with our minds. We really don't. It's our hearts that matter the most. If you think about it, we have 1, 2, 3 chakras before the heart, and down below you have the root, the solar plexus, and the gut, and that's 3, and then you have the heart. So, hello. Anyway, and so let's see here. I do have a couple of questions, Heather. I don't still see any questions from you. Mac Ria says, do I have karma to clear financially? I hear it's 13 generations of karma. So there's like some mishandling of money by the matriarchs. So it seems like there's kind of a miserly thing. If they get it and they grab onto it and they just hoard it, and it doesn't multiply itself. So that would be karmic debt, but through the genetics. Okay, thank you, Maclia, for your question. Pat says, hello, you look so good. Thank you. Why did my car break down now since it's been such a good car? Okay, Pat, that what I'm hearing is there's a breakdown with inside of you. There's a hope that you've had for a really long time, and you've kind of given up on something. So you've had mobility in your life, moving forward in your life, and you've been coasting really nicely, but you've given up on something within yourself. I just don't know what that is, but when you give up on something in yourself, something in your car will give up. So have a look at that. Thank you for your question. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. You're welcome, Macria. All right. Chaos makes the muse. I think Heather posted the question in the questions tab. Okay, let me see if I can do that. Cool. I didn't know there was a questions tab. Aha, here it is. Thank you. My beautiful followers, it was helping me out. Thank you. Heather, it says, looking for a job. Do you see anything? My son broke his foot in Korea. Worried mom here. Okay, Heather. What I'm getting is on your son's foot and the broken foot, it's going to take longer to heal because it's like literally like what I'm getting is right in the center. It's like the doctors are thinking it's more of a break this way if this was the toes, but it's more this way. So it's going to take them a little bit longer to find out what is wrong with his foot. So suggest that they look the other way. They're looking this way, and they actually should be looking this way. Like if this is the toes up in here, feels like under not the big toe, but the next one over. Feels like there's a fracture in there as well. And then you were asking about a job. Okay, what I'm hearing for you, Heather, is it's your heart. It's nothing to do with karma. It's your heart. Whatever that you have done in the past, thank you for hanging in there, Heather. Give me a heart or something. Let me know you're still there. My desired outcome was to answer you, and I thank you for chaos. Makes the muse that help me know the little question mark is questions. Thank you for that. But your job is in your heart. And you're doing something from your head in the past to make money. And you're good at it. You can do it all day long. But here is where you're at now. You're sending at such a high level that your frequency is off. So you're not attracting a job. Even if you go to interviews, it's like it's a dissonance because your mind is like, I can do this, and your heart's like, I don't want to do this. So you've got the 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas. And Heather, I'm going to invite you to go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and either reach out to me because there's a place that says contact, and you can send me an email and we can chat a little bit. Or if you're ready for a session, just go ahead and click on that and I'll help you shift that energy. But please reach out to me. And you said surgery is bedded. I'm not really sure what that means. If you could elaborate a little, that'd be good. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and close that out. And then Deborah says, do you see me making money or attracting abundance? Deborah, darling. Your art. Start selling your artwork. It is so beautiful, and you have so much to offer. And I think people would snap it up in a heartbeat if you would put it on the back of some cards or the front of the cards. The holiday season is coming up. I really think that's where your talent lies, and putting it out there and telling friends you're doing it and let them carry the word for you. There's something about 12 months and your money. I'm sorry, Deborah, it feels like an investment that you have right now will pay off in 12 months. I know that's kind of a ways out, but that's what I'm hearing. Some kind of long-term investment that you have is gonna like double or something and pay out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Thank you for your question. Hey, Kathy, I need to reach out to you about the Academy. I'm revamping it So instead of being 12 months, I'm going to revamp it to 6 because I need to start meeting with people once a week because there's so much coming out so quickly. And so that's what I'm doing, is having the designer put it into 6 weeks instead of a year, or 6 months instead of a year. And that should be ready for release in January, Kathy. So thank you for your love and your patience. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Let's see. Oh, surgery is needed. Yes, Heather. But again, lovingly, look very closely, not doctor. Energy is what I work with and I feel. And when you talk about your son and I connect to his energy and his foot, it, again, like if these were toes and this is, the rest of his foot, it feels like they're looking for a break this way. And it, instead of being here, what I feel is it's here. And like, here's the big toe and the next one over. And it just feels like it's down in there and it's a little bitty fracture. And if they don't get that, in addition to the other stuff they're doing, it's going to cause them a lot of pain. So I would have them just double check and make sure, because it's just such a little fracture, but it would make such a big difference to him. So thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Heather, for your question. And again, reach out on that other stuff that we were talking about, because I could really give you some help with that. Either go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on contact, send me an email, or just find a session time. Any of you are welcome to send me an email if you have questions. If you're just watching me for the first time and you're not familiar with my work, just click on contact, send me an email, and I can set some time aside to see what's happening for you. All righty. You're welcome. I'm getting some hearts. Thank you for the love. You all are so awesome. And again, what I'm going to do is, the plan is to come on here the first of the month and give you all a outlook for the entire month, and then start doing a card of the day that you all can see and know what's happening for that day. And one last message I am getting, I have a deck of love and light, and the card I'm pulling says, be the love you wish to receive. And that's what we were just talking about. Be that love. Allow yourself to be that love, and you can love yourself, and you can draw safe boundaries, and you can balance your world even when it seems like it's overwhelming odds. I know I have a personal life that is overwhelming just with all I have to get to, and that doesn't count sweeping and mopping the floors. You can be spiritual all you want, but you still got to sweep the floors. That's an ancient Oriental wisdom. And it's a challenging time. And I'm gonna again announce a class for you all to take so you can get some traction on that. And if you need any help in the meantime, if you're suffering from overwhelm, anxiety, fear, all that stuff, let's put a stop to it. Give me a call. Go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and reach out to me. Let's get together. Let's get you hopping. Let's get more light into this schmeggin world so we can all go forward in truth, love, and light. Not to put up this poo-poo anymore. All right. Love you bunches. Good night. And I will see you probably next week. Bye.